All right, give me a minute. I apologize for my face being so close to the screen, but boy, we got a show to talk to you about today. I want to share this because tomorrow is not promised, but I want us to have a base in which we can talk to our children, especially our young girls, and we're going to go from there. I want to say this real quick before we get started with the show. I hate it when people try to label myself, my wife, or my family as some haters or some whatever you want to call it. But I've been advocating for years that if we want to have a night spot, a club or something, we can raise the money, buy some land out in the country, and we can build a club. If we want to have a place that we ride four-wheelers and dirt bikes and all that stuff, we can raise money and we can start a mudding club. No problem. I love bikes. I've always loved bikes. Anybody that know me know I love bikes. I've always loved music. Anybody that knows me know I love music. I hate weed though. I don't like smelling it. It bothers my heart condition. And if you don't mind killing me, then I pray that Allah don't give me no kind of concern with killing you. If you can kill me with no concern, I want to be able to do that to you. So I want to get that out there. Prime example of how we can do that is Harvard's Haven out there going towards Westminster. They have beautiful property out there. They have the pond. They have basketball courts. They have a nice aluminum building out there in the middle where they can play music and rent out the space. It's possible to do. But what we are so accustomed to is breaking laws. We love breaking laws. Break the law. F the cops. F the feds. Look, you're not going to build a community that way. So if you're going to come against us in any kind of way, then we're going to have to retaliate. We're going to have to come back too. I don't believe in getting punched and not try to punch back. That's totally unfair. So I'm praying to Almighty God as my sisters came over today, and we did pray for the community that we will have a mutual understanding of respect. But when you are hungry for a dollar and you don't have any concern, you have very little respect. So we're going to get into this thing today, man. It's a powerful show today. Tell your friends, share this real quick. We are talking about black women, fake hair, and what you are after when you put it in your head. God is talking. Be right back.
Tell me like it is, and not like it was. Tell me like it is, and not like it was. Tell me like it is. Tell me like it is. Like it is. Like it is.
Find something new until I can build. I want to build a sling that I can swing my camera phone around any direction I want it, so I can be able to show you pictures on the screen and all that other good stuff. We're getting into a topic today. I want to tell you a story, and this story will relate to you, black woman, and your hair. It will relate to your children and your connection to God, but we got to get it from the beginning. I know we are not very accustomed to listening to things. I know also, and I feel it, that you're angry that it's me that's telling you. And that's the main reason you don't listen. That's the main reason you go off the air. But let me tell you something, ignorance is no excuse. So I'm going to do what God tells me to do. You do whatever you feel you're supposed to do. I really wanted to do this today, so I'm going to do it. Now I want to get into the story about black women and black hair. And I know most of you will be offended right off the bat, but you don't have a clue what I'm about to talk about. So I'm going to give us a history lesson today, and it's going to give me about an hour and a half, if possible, or maybe less. There's a story that talks about the tribe of Shabazz in the Nation of Islam. There's a story that talks about tribes, the 13 tribes in the Bible. We're going to get into that today and try to shed some light on something. Then I got some pictures I want to show you of black women and black hair to show you our original self. So the tribe of Shabazz, this story is told in the Nation of Islam, and in Islam, it's an ancient black tribe, a nation that migrated into Central Africa, led by a leader they call Shabazz. Now, many of us call ourselves lost members of the tribe of Shabazz or the lost tribe of Shabazz. The concept is found primarily in the writings of Wallace Farad Muhammad and Elijah Muhammad, according to the autobiography of Malcolm X. This story according to the Nation of Islam and according to facts in old maps of the world, the tribe of Shabazz was the only surviving tribe of the 13 original tribes. The 13 original tribes talked about in the Bible, the 13 tribes. The tribe of Shabazz was the only surviving tribe of the 13 black tribes of Shabazz. The 13 black tribes all over the world. The entire world was called Asia or Asia. And it was chopped into pieces. They call Eurasia and other parts of Asia. And we'll get into that in a minute. But this is the story leading up to you, black woman, your hair, your nose, your eyes, and your obsession with weave. Now, the 13th tribe that lived on Earth 66 trillion years ago. The Bible is 6,000 years old. But if you look into history, type it into your search engine, there's something called pre-Adamites. The pre-Adamites are those who were here before Adam, and Adam means black. So we're talking about tribes of people who, if the book, Bible, or Quran was written from history from the beginning, it would be too much to study. 66 trillion years ago, after a rogue scientist blew up the planet, splitting off the moon. Now, many people don't know that the moon was a part of the earth. That's why you have all the craters in the moon. And the water that was on the moon came back to this part of the earth, and that's why the earth has more water on it than land. That's why we're suffering all the flooding that we're suffering now. This is fact, scientific fact. And you can see all the craters in the moon where water used to be. So at night, the moon pulls on the water and causes it to come back down in the form of rain, hail, snow, and in the morning when you're riding through, you see fog, you're actually riding through clouds. So any weather that comes from the sky actually comes from the earth, and depending upon the temperature in the atmosphere and where the wind is blowing, that's where the weather goes. So I'm talking about that. The moon is pulling on the earth. So the 13th tribe, all of the other tribes, the 12 tribes, they perished. They died when that incident occurred. Now, Moses in the Bible was sent to teach the savages how to be righteous. Moses had a hard time. Those who were marching through the desert, the story of that, and all of those tribes that died in the desert, and the young got the promised land. That's where we're leading. We're talking about good hair. We're talking about black hair, and we're talking about how other races studied your history and marketed your hair to you and your desire to have it back. Now, I'm going to show you some pictures. Now, the tribe of Shabazz relocated to a rich part of the Nile Valley of Egypt in the present seat of the holy city called Mecca, Arabia. So the original people are Aramaic, or Jesus spoke Aramaic and Hebrew. We are the original people, but our original self had to be modified by God so that we could survive in the jungles of Africa or Akibulan. The original facial structure of us is a straight nose. You know, the straight cheek, our lips weren't as big, but they were full. That's the original us. The only original hair that we still possess today from our beginning is the hair on our eyebrows. So the hair on your eyebrows is the original hair that used to be on your head. The hair on your eyebrows is the original hair that used to be on your head, male and female. I'm going to show you some of these pictures in a minute. Now, Shabazz and the lost tribe of Shabazz, he was a rebellious scientist because he rebelled against God's desire for the people. In rebelling against the people, God took his hand away from Shabazz, as he did with Adam and Eve in the Bible. And Adam is black, so Eve is definitely black. Everything originated from black, or the unknown, darkness. In the beginning, darkness was. That is the original. And that's why most of you like to try to do your dirt in the dark. You know, I hear at night all the sounds of the party and the music and the bikes. You want to do it in the dark because you think nobody can hear you. We are originators of darkness. But in that darkness is supposed to be a rich history of truth and of closeness to God. But instead, Satan got control of us. How did he get control of us? He got control of us because the things that we were connected to God with in truth, we now connect to God with in a lie. So when you have weave in your hair, it's a natural desire to go back to the person you once were, black woman. And I'm going to show you how your hair used to grow. But right now, I want to show you this picture really, really quickly of how we used to look. Black women used to look. I'm going to try to get this up as one picture. There we go. And this is an Asiatic woman. And I'm going to try to blow it up. As you can see, the nose, the lips, the complexion, that's an Asiatic woman. That was you in your original self. But when you were taken into the jungles of Africa, or Akibulan, but we want to tell it to you today. This is Jamil Salib Zamir out of Manning, South Carolina. And I know y'all don't want to hear anything that deals with change. See, we are absolutely in love with blaming someone else for our problems. You know, Trump still did it. He's out of office, but it's all Trump fault. I ain't got no money. It's Trump fault. My roof leaking. It's Trump fault. My children ain't getting along. It's Trump fault. Something going in the community. It's Trump fault. If they shooting guns, it's Trump fault. So we love the scapegoat, and your best videos on YouTube and other channels that are getting the most attention, you know what they are? Gossip videos. Men who trying to describe to you the streets, you know, my man so-and-so, see, if he would have just shot off Lil Tim, you know what I'm saying, and Vaughn, and we love that stuff. But that don't have nothing to do with us. It don't have nothing to do with our situation in our time. You understand me? So here we are, Tribe of Shabazz. We are in the jungles of Akibulan, what you call Africa. Living in the jungles, our people were soft. Our people were soft. If you understand slavery, you understand that white folks brought us into slavery because they were soft. They didn't want to build nothing. They didn't want to work nothing. So they didn't even take the time out to find what they were looking for. India. So when Christopher Columbus and the boys got over here, they saw somebody, this India, these must be Indians. Gave the people a name. These are the original inhabitants of this part of the earth called Turtle Island. But they gave a name to it because those were what do you call them? Those were the rejected from Spain and those areas. We don't want you here. Go find someplace else to go. So this weak man didn't want to work, didn't want to do nothing. So he figured out a way to put slaves under his foot and make the slaves. First, he started out with the original people who, after they helped him, first he started out with them. They couldn't handle it. So he went and got us from Akibulan and brought us here. And now we are here to this day, the strongest people on the planet, bar none. Because we survive every attempt to destroy and eliminate us. That's just truth. This ain't hearsay or gossip. This is scientific fact. So Shabazz wanted a people to undergo a form of life that would make them tough and hard. And other scientists wouldn't agree with it. If you look in the Bible, you see they talk about the 24 scientists. 24 scientists. 23 did the writing. The 24th one is the one that decided what would be real and what would be not, what would happen and what wouldn't. That's the God, the Jesus that you talk about. So the scientists disagreed with Shabazz, said that we're not going to go along with that. We don't want our people to change. But if you want to do that, Shabazz, then you take your people over there. And that's what I'm telling all of you so-called hardcore thug gangster niggas who got all the money and all the bags. If you want to change the way things are, then take your money over there. Buy your land over there. Put your house over there. That's for the grown-ups and for the children. Put it over there. And don't let us come over there. No matter how bad it gets for us, don't let us come over there where y'all are having a good time at. That's y'all. That belongs to you. That's how gangsters did back in the day. They decided at a round table. We're not going to agree with this, but if you want to do it, you go over there and do it. So Shabazz took his family and wandered down into the jungles of Africa. We're talking about good hair, but I got to give you the story now. Stay tuned. Prior to that time, no one lived in the jungles. Our people were soft. They were black, but they were soft and delicate, fine. They had straight hair. They had straight hair. Right here on this earth, you find some of them looking like that today. They are black as night, but their hair is straight and silky. The original ones, our people had that kind of hair, but the scientist took his family down into the jungles of Africa and lived in the open. Now, living in the open, living in the jungles, our bodies had to adapt. See, the one thing about a Caucasian body is it cannot adapt. It cannot produce melanin to protect it from the skin, so they have to put on sunscreen. This is fact. They can build muscle by exercise, but they cannot develop melanin. They are in the lab now trying to figure that out, melatonin and other things. That's why so many black boys and girls are missing, because somebody up to something trying to figure out how to extract melanin from the pigmentation of the skin and use it, because white folks study you and they understand that your melanin is of value, but you abuse your melanin. And in abusing it and not even caring or giving praises to God that you got it, he allows Satan to take over you in your best day, in your best house, with your best car and your best clothes and a diamond in your forehead worth 24 million and a Maybach and a Bugatti and a Ferrari and a Porsche. You still are not respected by the gods because you disrespect your own melanin. Now, here we are. We in the jungle. We got to breathe this thick air. So our noses, instead of being straight, the nose started to flare out because we had to breathe different. The lips started to get bigger, and the hair, instead of being straight like our eyebrows, began to become kinky like lamb's wool to protect us from the sun. Our skin became very tough and dark because the melanin came to the surface to protect us from jungle life. So it affected our entire appearance. Now, to the gods, we say I'm black and I'm beautiful, but to the gods, we look ugly. Why do we look ugly? Because we are people of rebellion. And when you rebel and you desire to go back to your original self, and somebody can take advantage of that desire, they can make you spend money to be what you once were, but everything you are is only on the outside, cosmetic, and it's not on the inside, spiritual. So all you're doing is playing a part, using the parts of somebody else. So you're not being black with your new nose. You're not being blacker with your new lips, your new hair. It's all artificial. So you and I are artificial. We are an artificial people. We are so fake that we don't know how to act amongst ourselves. Nobody respects you, black man in America, because they can make you anything they want you to be. I don't care how big of a gangster you are. I don't care how big of a politician you are. You can always be made to sell out your people because there's nothing original about you. So the black woman is desiring her hair back. And since you are not strong enough, you're weak still inside, because that is an issue that we did not address. You're not strong enough to fight Satan. You don't even have a desire to fight Satan. So instead of growing your own original, official, God-given hair, you go and buy some weave and put it in your head with glue and poison your mind, your spirit, and your body with it. My point, it's not a condemnation of what you're doing. It's an affirmation of why you are doing it. You desire to go back to God. You desire to be with the one who created you. You don't know him. You never seen him before. White folks introduced you to their image of what a God is. Only thing that's holding you in place is your faith in what you don't know. Faith can move mountains, but faith don't have a face to it. It's just a belief in something that you don't know. Now, Tribe of Shabazz in the jungle, big nose, why, big lips, big behind, stronger, broader shoulders because we had to do all of these things. We had to do them ourselves. This is what was happening to you. Now, I want to show you something if I can get it up on the screen, and I hope that I can, but I don't know if I can. I'm going to try, though. I'm going to show you this. Yeah. Okay. Now I got the wrong thing. Gee whiz. A lot of work. It's a lot of work, man. Y'all better dig it. You know what's crazy to me? A woman puts Gorilla Glue in her hair, and y'all gave her $24,000 out y'all pocket because now she's pregnant with her 6th child, boyfriend in the picture and all. They chilling. $24,000, maybe $30,000. Man or woman comes on the air and gives you absolute truth of something that you have never heard in your life, and you won't even stay on the air long enough to listen. It's a crazy thing, but it's proof positive that we don't deserve nothing from nobody, and you won't receive nothing. And in our lessons in Islam, it asks, why does the black man love the devil? And the answer is because he gives us nothing. See, when a person treats you like garbage, you love him. That's why when a man beat on a woman and call her bitch and hoe, she love him. I'm his ride or die. But if he treats you like a woman, my queen, I'm tired of all that soft talk. Now, I wanted to put this up because of Asia. And because if you never travel, you never been nowhere, you don't know what's happening, man. You don't have a clue. But Asia, read this real quick if I can. Then we're gonna get back into the hair. I'm gonna show you some images, and we're gonna shut it down on this part. It says Asia is Earth's largest and most populous continent, located primarily in the eastern and northern hemisphere. It shares the continental landmass of Eurasia with the continent of Europe and the continental landmass of Afro-Asia. Remember, I just told you that all of the earth was named Asia or Asia. Everything had Asia in it. And if you look back on many of the old maps, you'll see it. You ain't gonna get this nowhere else. But if you really want to know what happened to black folks and why we can't get it together, you got to study the history in the right way. You got to understand that what's going on with us is spiritual, yes, but mental more. So we're advertising now, go to psychiatrists, go talk to somebody. But if they're not telling you your root and what the root of your problem is, all they can do is prepare you to act better in a world that is intended to destroy you. I think it's unfair that a person is one person trying to do right and everybody else is doing wrong, and they say, well, we can bully him, so we'll kill him and we'll keep doing what we're doing. Is that unfair? Well, that's what happened to Jesus Christ. He was sent to do a job. He did his job, but the people said, we don't want you here. So they justified killing him by charging him with sedition, and the king's Pontius Pilate knew it was wrong, but he allowed him to kill him anyway. And in 3 days, according to the book, he was resurrected because it was an unlawful kill. And that's where we are today. Eurasia, with both Europe and Africa. Asia covers an area of 44,579,000 square kilometers. So Europe, Eurasia, all of that. Africa is in the midst of that. So all of what you call Africa, Akibulan, Europe, Eurasia, Asia, Japan, all of that is ours. When you come over here to Turtle Island, what they later called America, that's ours. But on Turtle Island, here, what you call America, there were the original Aboriginal people who had hair growing all the way down their back. Some of your grandmothers still had that Aboriginal blood in them, and mine did too, and they had hair growing all down their back. I just saw my cousin yesterday on a Zoom, and I haven't seen her in about 5 years, and her hair is up and all the way down. bouncy and fluffy, no extensions. Now I want to get you into some pictures. We're going to close out. Please tell your little girls, and I want to say this, don't damage these young girls' hair by putting weaves and all of these chemicals in their hair when they're young. Don't do that, because you are destroying the natural root. There's a root in the brain from the hair. And if you're destroying the root, then you're destroying the spiritual connection to the earth and to Almighty God in the universe. And that's why our Jamaican brothers and sisters lock their hair, because they're trying to stay connected to the I and I, the root. Bob Marley, root, not the root. Dread, dingy, dread. I and I are the root. That's us. But you want to grow dreads because dreads remind you of someone doing crime. There's a difference between dreads and locks. White folks called your hair dreadful because you couldn't get it cut, because you couldn't fix it, so it was matted and it was dreadful. So you walk around calling it dreadlocks, but they're just locks. They're not dreads unless you want to be a dread. Boombaklad Rastafari youth. That's up to you. But your connection to Mother Africa, Akibulan, is your root. And your root is in your hair. And when somebody can take your root and put false hair in your head, and when you pull it out, you pull in your hair from the root, now your hairline all the way back to the back of your skull. I'm not trying to be funny, but they are making mockery of you. And that's why in the scripture it says God is not mocked. He's going to take revenge for you. But if he is constantly killing people and people are dying for us, but we're so caught up in this rebellious world that we don't even see what God is doing for us and the sacrifices being made for us, what God should hang around us. So when God leaves, the demons come out. And the demons are going to always take control of everything, and they will not stop. You're not going to pray them away. You got to fight them. So in the Bible, it says that Satan left Jesus for a time, meaning he would be back. He's coming back. So let me turn this around real quick. I'm sorry, you all. I apologize for that. I wanted to turn the camera around so you could see the original Asiatic woman. And I'm going to leave it there while I'm talking because I got a lot more pictures to show you. And I apologize. I get so connected to myself. Now, this is the original Asiatic woman. You see the chinky eyes. You see the pointed nose. The lips are broad and they're beautiful, but they're not as big as ours are now. Now, I'm going to take you into some more pictures, and I want you to look at the hair on these women. Look at that. Long hair is in our genes. This ain't no extension. These are the Asiatic women. Look at the nose. Look at it. Look at the lips. Look at the hair. Look at that. And they've convinced you that this is the definition of European beauty. This is our beauty. Our nose now, the broad nose, is considered ugly by the gods because Shabazz rebelled in order for us to have them. But this is our original hair. This is what you are after, black woman. Every single time you put weave in your hair, and Asians know it. White folks know it. So they sell you your desire to go back to God. But you can't go back to God if you're going to a false God. And you can't go back to the real God because you're wearing false products. Look at that. African hair secret. Look at that. Look at that hair. Look at it. All the way down the butt to the floor, man. We ain't need no extensions. Look at this. Look at the nose. Look at the chinky eyes. My daughter has eyes like that. My daughter has thick brows like that. Look at the hair all the way down to the floor. Amazing African hair. This is us. Look at the black man. Look at his hair. Y'all got that matted look now and swear y'all originated. Y'all ain't originate that. This is all history. This is a Zulu. You're from the Zulu tribe if you desire to have your hair like that. Y'all walking around here like y'all invent something new. You ain't invent nothing new. You don't know new. Look at that hair. Look at the skin. That's why you're bleaching your skin. You want that back. Look at that darkness. But look at the nose. Look at the hair. Look at the nose. Look at that. The nose, the hair. Look at that. She looks like my granddaughter, Denaya. Looks just like her. God is calling us home, man. See, somebody see you looking like this right here. You know what they won't call you a Zulu. They'll call you a thug. They'll say you bad news, but you trying to get back to your roots. You trying to get back to your roots in your hair. But how can you when it's filled with chemicals and your mind is filled with poisons that some other race of people gave? Look at this hair. Look at this young girl's hair. This ain't no extension. Look at the designs and the patterns in the hair. These aren't extensions, man. This is the real deal. This is what you after in your spirit, black woman, but you don't even know how to get there because you don't know God is calling you. You think extensions are enough, but extensions are like a false penis, like a dildo. You can get the pleasure from it, but it's not a man. And after a while, you get so hardcore, you say, I don't need no man. Because you're getting false pleasure from a material thing. So what is one of God's commandments? Thou shalt worship no false gods. Dildo is a false god. Fake hair is a false god. Fake nails is a false god. But lady, you trying to get back to your God. But you'll never get back there if you don't try to grow back what God gave you. Look at the nose. Look at the chinky eyes. Look at the hair. Look at the thickness of the hair. Hair like lamb's wool. Look at that. Tribes that you will never see because they're so deep in the forest of Akibulan, but there they go. There they go. With more hair than you ever seen in your life. Look at that. Look at the nose now. This is in America, but this is her original hair. This is what you want. We're talking about hair today and why you spend thousands of dollars a month trying to get this look, but you will never feel like this because you're not trying to grow it yourself. And I'm going to say it again. Don't you put no chemicals in these young girls' hair. Look at that. They got the crown on the queen. Look at that. So much hair that they can make it. They can weave it out. You dig that? Look at that. And by the time she turns 31, she'll be done put so much extensions in or trying to cut it down like white folks do. Man, just claim yourself. White folks are all right with that. They claim themselves. They say they this. I'm a redneck. I'm this. And they all right with that. They all right with it. You ain't all right. Look at that hair. Look at what we can do with our hair. Look at that. That's what you after. That's what they selling you in a plastic bag. They take it off of a horse. So the horse hair is in your head, touching your original roots, going down into your fertile brain, which fertile ground, which is your brain, and turning you into an animal. You out there bucking, looking at your behind, talking about you twerking. Your butt look just like a horse butt. Beautiful thing, your butt. But you twerking and looking back at your butt. Man, they messed us up, bro. Y'all accepted it too. Long, beautiful hair. I really hope that y'all will share this information, man, because it is necessary. It's necessary that you share it. Nobody else is going to tell it to you. They don't know how to. I'm not bragging about it. I'm just telling you what it is. I thank you all for tuning in on Instagram and on Periscope and on YouTube. I sincerely thank you. I don't understand what the issue is, but y'all don't share none of my videos on social media, none of them. But and I'm talking about people who claim they black now, they woke. Y'all woke. But y'all don't touch Jamil's videos. You really think that I think that numbers on a social media website means that you're listening? No. But the numbers will get us into a deeper audience. And what's happening with us is we'd rather see each other die than a certain person deliver the truth. That's us. That's black. We've been made this way by the false introduction of lies in our brain, our false introduction of the clothes we wear, the food we eat, the stuff we put on our skin, we put in our hair. All of it is destroying us spiritually, and you can't get back to God like that. There's no way. There's no way. Thank you for tuning in. Jamil Salib Zamir, Manning, South Carolina. I hope that y'all will continue to support the broadcast and like and share it. Like and share this broadcast in particular. We'll be right back. All right. And we're getting ready to close $30,000 y'all gave to the lady who put glue in her hair. I ain't received one Cash App since I got the Cash App. And we've been doing this for 30 to 40 years. And listen, you don't have to like me, but you can't tell me that God ain't giving me the right things to tell you and tell your children. These are bedtime stories. Thank you for tuning in. Jamil Salib Zamir, Manning, South Carolina.
Tell me like it is, and not like it was. Tell me like it is, and not like it was.